the biggest storyline for me was the change in the second period from the first, or the evolution, I would say. First period was okay. It was two teams kind of feeling each other out, kind of throwing some jabs here and there, back and forth in the neutral zone, kind of see what kind of game it was going to be. And then I heard the leadership group speaking among themselves in the dressing room without the coaches involved at all about what kind of game do we want to make this, what kind of team do we want to be. And they came out, just as a storm in the second period. And so that was really impressive, the quality of the group, how much they care, and the quality of the leadership in there as well.
9 different players tonight on the score sheet. How important is the balanced scoring?
Yeah, very important in this league. And as I've said before, I think it's one of the hallmarks of Cam, his management staff, and his player personnel staff, is they always do a great job of finding players that are versatile, that give us a deep lineup, that give us the ability to deploy players in different positions and different roles. So that depth is something that I think is a hallmark of our organization.
How about Brock Gould? He left one in the first period. It was like you say, a feeling out period.
Yeah.
And but he climbed out of that sort of hole.
Yep.
And he's one of the top 3 stars for sure. He played a great game. 34 saves, 33
yep,
saves.
Right. Yep. I agree with that. Brock is really emerging. Obviously, he's a quality goaltender, quality human being, but he's really emerging as a confident goalie, a prepared goalie that just makes you feel so solid and confident playing in front of him, and you can tell the team really feels that way and feeds off of him. And that's not an easy task, only half a season into his first year in the league, but he works so hard to prepare. He's humble, he's respectful, he's diligent. He really has learned a lot from Griff and followed his lead, and I know the guys really enjoy playing for him and playing in front of him. They work so hard in front of him, the same way they do for Griff.
So you're obviously going to have Outhouse tomorrow night against the Big Giants.
Yep.
But then you go on the road for quite a while, so you're not back till January 9th. So are you going to give Gould another chance on the road, or is it going to be Outhouse all the way? And is that why you took tonight off?
Yeah, definitely. Griff will go tomorrow, so it's good that Gould was able to step in there and do a great job, as we knew he would. Gets Griff refreshed and fresh for tomorrow. And then on the road, it's quite a dense schedule. A lot of games, a lot of travel, quick turnarounds, things like that. So we haven't determined which games Gouldy will play, but he'll definitely play some of those games to give Griff a bit of a rest.
Lees, Sidaway, and Gulka seem to have a good game today. Maybe speak on the unsung heroes of the game and what they did.
It's a great point. They did have a really good game. Gulka's become such a great, reliable center for us. And going back to the versatility, Leeser has played left wing, center, and right wing all at different times throughout the course of the year. Today we needed him at right wing, and he did a great job, put in a great night's work with Sid on the left. And they had an important matchup at times against the second, third, and fourth lines. They played in all different situations against tough opponents, so very happy with them.
Team seems to be getting a lot of bounces lately. Is that just from persistence and staying on the puck?
That's exactly what it is. We talked a few games ago when there were a couple games that we were getting chances and it wasn't going in. It was hitting the post, or goalies were making good saves or whatever. And we talked about the fact that it's usually just an inch one way or another that creates a goal, or a situation where there's no goal. You just have to work so hard for those inches. So a good example would be our first goal tonight, where Cam Bites has that loose puck at the net. He fights and fights and fights. I think it took about 3 or 4 attempts to get it in, and then it only went about an inch across the goal line. So those inches add up and make a big difference.
Tomorrow night, obviously you can expect a big crowd and the Giants coming in, a high-powered team. Thoughts on tomorrow night's game?
Can't wait to play, and our team always gets up to play Vancouver. It's a great rivalry. We always love playing at home, especially on a Saturday night. No better place to be than at a home game at the Save On Foods on a Saturday night in Victoria, so our guys are ready to go. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks.
Okay, go ahead.
Goal and assist tonight. How do you feel the game went for you?
I feel like I played pretty good throughout the whole game. Could have been a lot better in the first and halfway through the second. And then I started to pick up my feet and started moving, and then that's when success happened.
Did you guys have a little bit of an emotional letdown after playing those 2 pretty intense games against Riverhawks?
I wouldn't say it was a letdown. I think we obviously knew we could have played better in the second game. Obviously, losing 7-2 isn't too good, but the message in the room was just do your best you can. And today, I feel like the second and third were really good. We could have done a lot better in the first, coming off that loss. But I think overall, it was just the message was just to do your best.
4-game point streak. Are you feeling more confident out there, especially at that hat trick and then 2 points tonight?
I wouldn't say more confident. I think my bounces are just going in. It comes a lot from my line mates. they're really good players. Schulte is working really hard tonight. Was one of our best players, and he created offense. And the puck just happened to get on my stick and go in. And Schulte was working hard on that last goal there, and he deserved the goal, and he got it.
Lately, the power play hasn't been producing as much. How did it feel to contribute tonight and be a power play goal?
The power play goal is huge. Actually, we know we've been kind of in a slump, and we just needed one, and hopefully now we can get a lot more.
Tomorrow night, probably going to be a big crowd for Teddy Bear Toss and the Giants coming in. What do you expect in tomorrow night's game?
I expect a hard physical game, especially because we lost to them in overtime last weekend, so we're going to come out flying, and I know they're going to come out flying too. It's our Teddy Bear Toss game, so there's obviously a little added pressure, but I feel like we can handle it.
Anyways, thank you.
Congratulations on the win tonight. How did you feel the game went for you?
Thanks. I felt pretty good out there. Probably one of my best games of the year for sure. Like I say, I worked a lot on staying calm in practice. And, I think I was pretty calm out there tonight, and I felt pretty solid.
Your second win against Prince George. How do you feel playing that team? Do you know maybe a little bit more about them?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously get familiar with players and you know what their tendencies are. So you definitely think about that going into the game. But once you're out there, you just gotta react to what's going on.
Looked like as the game went on, you got more confident. You let in that goal in the first period. You ended up stopping or having more shots than the Royals did. So, so do you feel that the puck was getting bigger for you, like a beach ball?
Almost. I guess that's a pretty good way to put it, actually. But yeah, I mean, I just tried to keep sticking to my game after that first goal, not really let it bother me. And as the game went on, I built up a lot of confidence, and I felt really good by the time we got to the third.
Good stuff. Your positioning looked really good as well. You're making saves off your leg pads and you with the glove hand there. So you're really working on the holes in every game.
Yeah. Like Lyndon and Rolly really helped me a lot in terms of staying in position, especially this year. They've helped me so much. Just get more used to the league, get used to the faster play, and yeah, they're great. Like I give all the credit to them for helping me.
And of course, you got a little bit of run support tonight, not like the last game.
Yeah. No, the boys played pretty good tonight. Came out flying in the first part of the third. Really bounced back in the second. So I thought we played well, and we're excited for the victory.
Prince George has some pretty big bodies they can throw in front of you. Maybe speak to how the guys cleared the net and gave you some sightlines.
Yeah. Prince George had a couple of screens in front, but for the most part, the guys did pretty good boxing out their players. Prince George really likes to throw pucks to the net and bag home rebounds, so that was a big part of us being successful today.
Good, thank you.
Thanks.